For this next one, we got a fight that I think could go either way here with Phil Hawes and Roman Dolidze. Phil Hawes, he bounced back from his loss to Chris Curtis. He got a dominant victory over Duran Win, finished him in the second round. At 4-1 in the UFC, Hawes is close to being ranked. A win over Roman Dolidze may be his ticket to the rankings. And Roman Dolidze, he's looking at Phil Hawes the same way. Hawes is a slight favorite, but Roman Dolidze is also 4-1 in the UFC. And if he can get the win, he could maybe be ranked. He's 2-1 since dropping down 185 pounds. The loss that he had the first time he attempted to drop the weight to Trevin Giles was a close loss that he could have won as well. And then he got a boring decision win over Laureano Staropoli, which left a lot more questions than answers. I wasn't really sure where to put the leads in the division after that fight, but he made it clear he is, an upper echelon guy, at least that top 20, top 25, maybe even top 15 rankings type of guy, because he took out Kyle Dawkins, who's also a young fighter looking to break into the rankings, and he knocked him out really quick in a little bit over a minute. And a win over Phil Hawes, I believe, will definitely earn him a whole high-profile fight next. And Phil Hawes is a solid fighter. He has a blend of technical offensive striking, speed, power. He has elite wrestling. On the feet, Hawes has gotten way more refined technical with his offense. He relies heavily on his ability to get takedowns by fending the level changes, but he keeps fighters off balance, then lands stinging shots. He has a sharp jab. His 2-3s, 3-2s are improving a lot. He gets from point A to point B with very little fat, very little wasted movement, and he's good at ripping the body. He stays in the body diligently. Isn't a combination puncher, though, and when fighters can pressure him, he is hittable. He's uncomfortable. Hawes likes to be all the way in or all the way out. He likes to maintain distance with his hands, with his kicks, and keep fighters on the outside. Throw some powerful kicks as well. He has heavy leg kicks, nice front kicks up the middle. In his last fight, in terms of striking, it was a good matchup for Hawes because he had a massive reach and speed advantage. And Hawes likes to pull counter, and he's pretty good at it. He was able to pull counter with hooks, pull counter with elbows. He was able to land jabs, land kicks, and really just dominated Duran Win on the feet. Hawes' chin, though, is very questionable. He has bad reactions getting hit. You see him almost freeze up. And against a heavy hitter like Roman Dolidze, Hawes has to be really careful and really mindful in this fight. I think he's going to want to use his striking to catch Roman Dolidze as he's coming in, back him up, control range. He doesn't want to get in a dirty fight on the inside with high volume. Like I said, he wants to keep Roman Dolidze all the way out, and then if Dolidze wants to get inside, clinch him against the cage and try to take him down potentially. Phil Hawes is an exceptional wrestler. He has a really good amateur wrestling career and has transferred well into MMA. I don't think Hawes is the most overwhelming wrestler in the world, but he's a much better wrestler than most of his opponents, and he's big, explosive, powerful. He can grind opponents to dirt against the cage, and he's also pretty good with the double leg. When Hawes gets on top, he has good top control, but isn't really that active or dangerous. And against a fighter like Roman Dolidze with a very good no-gi jiu-jitsu background, good leg attacks, I don't know if Hawes is going to want to tangle on the ground. Cardio-wise, Hawes has corrected it, it seems. He has good cardio. I think Hawes is still a bit of a front runner. I don't trust him if he has to come back in a fight or if he has to make adjustments. This is a tough matchup on paper for Hawes because he's fighting someone who's going to give him something to think about in the grappling and be tough to hold down, who's a good counter puncher, and he's going to be looking to exploit the bad defense of Hawes and has power. Hawes should use a lot of kicks in this fight, in my opinion. Try to keep the range, stick on the outside, and then time the clinch, try to stall it out against the cage. For Roman Dolidze, he's a powerful counter puncher. On the feet, he likes to stay on the outside, let fighters come to him. He likes to switch stances, pretty good kicking game. There's some hard leg kicks, body kicks with both legs. In his fight with Kadi Ibragimov, he landed a nice head kick KO, and his head kicks are tricky. And Dolidze has big counter and power hooks. When fighters close the distance on him, he just spams those counter hooks, and he can land a big left hook, big right hook, or combinations of hooks on Hawes. I think you could easily knock him out. Roman Dolidze is also good at getting that chest lock against the cage, big knees to the body, to the head. His last fight, he got that position, then landed a big knee on the inside to the head of Kyle Dawkins that knocked him out. And volume-wise, Dolidze is not going to be able to match the volume of Hawes. When Dolidze throws, he's going to have to make it count. And he did drop Kyle Dawkins, one of the first punches he threw. Took him out with a knee against the cage. And I would advise Dolidze come out that same way. Fast in this fight, pressure, look to go for the kill from the start. And Roman Dolidze has not fought a wrestler yet in the UFC. He did fight Kyle Dawkins, but we didn't really get to see how that played out. And every time he has been taken down so far in Giovskiri, he's gone to the leg lock to try to either finish with a submission or sweep to top position. And he has decent wrestling offensively. I don't really think he's going to be able to take down Phil Hawes, but if he can, I think he'll have a big advantage on top. And he is good at timing the takedowns. And even if he can't get them, using it to get the body lock, circling in the back in that chest lock, and just riding fighters out in that wrestling right position. Matt returning them. I don't know if he's going to be that effective with his offensive wrestling against Phil Hawes. The question is going to be if Phil Hawes wants to take down Dolidze. Dolidze, when he gets taken down, is going to be very active with the 50-50 and trying to create those leg entanglements. And I don't know if Phil Hawes necessarily knows what he's doing in those situations. But Dolidze in the past has made dumb mistakes on the ground. He's dropped back for leg locks in top position and gave up the position and ended up losing the round. He had a close fight to Trevin Giles where attacking a leg lock in the second round allowed Trevin Giles to get off a lot of ground and pound. And that kind of swayed the judges to pick him and give the damage the nod over the submission attempt. Cardio-wise, the leads can slow down a little bit later in the fights as well. So I think that coming out fast early will be a smart thing to do because, both these guys tend to gas. So whoever wins the earlier rounds, I think is going to be the guy that probably wins the fight or gets the finish. Phil Hawes is not going to push a crazy pace or anything, so I don't really see Dolidze gassing out even if he does go long. And this is a fight where I think Phil Hawes has a speed advantage, and I also think he's more technical. He throws sharper shots. I think his jab, his leg kick could be effective, and he's going to need to stay sharper, and maybe the knockout will materialize if we don't push the issue. Dolidze is going to have to try to land the counter punches, and I feel like should try to invite a grappling match. It's going to be hard for Dolidze to get the takedowns, but if he can push, he may be able to get Hawes a bit tired and then time a takedown after Hawes isn't really ready for it. And this fight, like a lot of Phil Hawes losses, though, I think he's going to be looking good and then get caught and get finished. I just don't think that he's going to be able to take the power when Dolidze lands, and Dolidze doesn't really land many clean hooks to hurt Hawes. I don't think Hawes is going to be able to take down Dolidze and stall the fight out that way. So I think it's going to be more striking, and I think Hawes is just going to end up getting clipped. So I'm going to say Dolidze wins via first round TKO.